Did you infer the bastardy of Edward's children?
Can you infer any patterns in the signals? Is it speech?
I can infer that he's a bit of a gambler.
Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer right here on TalkWord. You know, the place where we completely immerse ourselves in the fascinating meaning, the origins, and the real-world usage of English words. Because language, well, it's not just about memorizing definitions, right? It's literally a key to unlocking entirely new ways to see the world around us. Okay, let's dive into this. Today, we're looking at the art of logical deduction, and specifically, we're mastering the word infer. Whether you're a novice speaker or a total language pro, grasping this word is absolutely going to elevate how you communicate and how you interpret the conversations happening around you every single day.
So, to really get the hang of this word, I want you to think of yourself as a bit of an investigator. Every single day, people communicate with you. But here's the catch. They don't always say exactly what they mean out loud. Actually, a huge percentage of human communication is entirely nonverbal. It's layered in tone, context, physical cues, the whole shebang. So we have to ask a really vital question. How do we understand what isn't explicitly spoken? Well, to figure that out, we have to look for hidden meanings. We're constantly going on this sort of detective's journey in our everyday conversations, searching for the truth right beneath the surface of what's just being vocalized.
Let's paint a really vivid picture to show you exactly what I mean. Imagine you're standing outside at a bus stop on a breezy, chilly autumn afternoon. You look over and you see that your friend is shivering. Their shoulders are all hunched up and they're tightly crossing their arms across their chest. Now, pay close attention to this. They haven't explicitly spoken a single word to you. They haven't turned to you and announced, "I am quite cold." But you know it anyway, don't you? You know exactly what they're experiencing. How? Well, your brain just effortlessly performs some rapid-fire detective work based purely on those visual clues right in front of you. And what your brain just executed in, a fraction of a second, it actually has a specific, highly useful name in English. It's called inferring. To infer, spelled I-N-F-E-R, means to deduce or conclude information from evidence and reasoning, rather than from explicit statements. It is exactly the mental process we just went through with our shivering friend just a second ago. We absorbed the visual evidence, we unconsciously applied our reasoning based on our own past experiences with cold weather, and boom, we reached a solid conclusion without needing anyone to actually speak the words out loud.
Let's look at the difference side by side. And this brilliantly illustrates why we actually need the word infer in our vocabulary in the first place. Take an explicit statement, like someone literally saying, "I am freezing." There is absolutely no guesswork there. The meaning is handed right to you on a silver platter. But compare that to raw evidence, like the physical act of shivering. When we only have the evidence, we have to bridge that gap in communication ourselves. That bridge is inference. We take the clue and we actively construct the meaning in our own minds, turning a simple observation into actual real understanding.
And guess what? We can actually break down this abstract concept of logical deduction into a very clear, replicable three-step formula. This is something you can easily memorize and actively apply as a language learner to vastly improve your comprehension in real time. Step 1. Observe the evidence. Just be present and look closely at what you're seeing or hearing in your environment. Step 2. Apply logic. Basically, ask yourself, what does your past experience or common sense tell you about this specific evidence? And finally, step 3. Make the inference. Combine the evidence with your logic to draw your unspoken conclusion. When you break it down like this, the whole complex art of language feels incredibly accessible, right?
All right, now it's your turn. Let's put your new detective skills to the test right now. Consider these clues for a second. We have an empty, oversized coffee cup sitting on a desk, and right next to it, a student who is heavily yawning and rubbing their eyes. I want you to stop for a second and apply our three-step formula. Step 1, you've observed the evidence, the empty coffee cup, the big yawn. Step 2, apply your logic. I mean, what do people usually use a massive amount of coffee for, and what does yawning inevitably signify? Now, step 3, what can you safely infer from this particular scene?
Did you figure it out? The inference here is that the student is tired. Perhaps they were studying late into the night, and they're actively trying to stay awake using the caffeine from that coffee. So the crucial point is how perfectly the physical evidence and your own internal logic align to create this specific, accurate conclusion. The student didn't need to hold up a big neon sign saying, "I am completely exhausted." The contextual clues completely spoke for themselves, and your brain expertly inferred the reality of the situation.
Now, what's really interesting is how this formal academic word connects directly to everyday English slang. If you really want to sound like a native speaker, you should definitely know that to infer something represents the exact same concept as the highly common English idiom, reading between the lines. When someone tells you to read between the lines, they're advising you to look past the literal text, or look past the spoken words, and infer the true, hidden meaning beneath them. It is literally the ultimate tool for finding the unspoken truths in any conversation or text.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a provocative thought to carry with you. What unspoken clues will you infer today? I highly encourage you to take this new vocabulary word and your three-step deduction formula out into the real world. Practice those deduction skills. Start paying closer attention to body language, to the tone of a person's voice, and to the environment around you. The more you consciously practice this, the more deeply you're going to understand the world and the people in it. Oh, and before I forget, make sure to check out our companion app, TalkWord, where you can listen to awesome podcast-style explanations of literally any English word you can think of. Until next time, keep learning, keep observing, and keep reading between the lines.